This is the Patriot Broadcast System. Broadcasters, in cooperation with the Revolution Movement, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. This is not a test. Other news and instructions will follow after this alert. Please be advised.
Good morning, America. Welcome and thank you for viewing the Patriot Information Network, or PIN. I am Helen the Hacker. I am the lead informant for the Patriot Information Network. We are pleased to begin our very first broadcast with Nicholas Giles, the Midnight Rider, as he lights the lamp for the first time to christen the network. So now is the network creator and host of Lighting the Lamp.
Top of the morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at the Patriot Information Network. I am your host, Midnight Rider, also known as Nicholas Giles. A little bit about me. I am a psychologist, theologian, philosopher, and humanist. I have a very scientific mind, but my interest and devotion is to people. I welcome you to my transmission, The Lamplighter, at the top of this first hour. The purpose of this show is to create a running dialogue about events and matters closest to us that can be indexed by topic and replayed as one may need to reference. Before I move into the segment, I must declare I hear all the time that if you want to start an argument, talk about politics or religion. It is this kind of thinking and belief system that keeps us apart from one another and divides us to even death. Tonight's broadcast begins a three-part series, and we will begin discussing not really anyone's opinion or debate of these topics, but the morality of these topics. These not only affect all Americans, but also reflects on all Americans. Of these three, we share a variety of views, and our lack of understanding is the majority of the battle in society. These topics are: number 1, politics; number 2, religion; number 3, society. We need to talk about these things as they are very serious and very real. Our country and this world is falling apart fast, and people are very divided. Most families are even divided, for heaven's sake. We need to come together and openly discuss these issues and realize that we all have different belief systems. This is why we need to be careful when discussing these topics. In every topic and in every situation when dealing with others, remember, perception is reality. There is a clear-cut method to establishing this type of dialogue in these type of circumstances. It's called empathy. Have some. Share it openly with others. For example, walk a mile in their shoes. Resolve will follow fast collectively if we all quit being self-centered and eliminate the need to be right. So we are going to question today what is right and wrong in these matters. So please hear this message and share it with all. Now, to begin the segment. We the people. Just listen to the words. We the people. Are you part of the we? If you claim so, then you have to ask the question, are politicians representing who you are? Let me elaborate. Let's think about killing, for example. Can there ever be a justifiable reason to kill anything? Now let's think about it. If you found you needed no outside authority to give you direction, or no higher power to supply you with answers, and you look at it, think about it, See how you feel about it. If you do this, the answers will be so profoundly and painfully obvious. So obvious, acceptance is profoundly manifesting and you act accordingly. This is called acting on your own authority. It is when we act on the authority of others that we get ourselves in trouble. Should states and nations use killing to achieve their political objectives? Should religions use killing to enforce their theological imperatives? Should societies use killing as a response to others that violate behavioral codes? Is killing an appropriate political remedy, spiritual convincer, or societal problem solver? Now, is killing something you can do if someone is trying to kill you? Would you resort to killing to defend the life of a loved one or someone you don't even know? Is killing a proper form of defense against those that would kill if they are not in some way stopped? Is there a difference between killing and murder? The state has you believing that killing to complete a purely political agenda is perfectly defensible. In fact, the state needs you to take its word on this to exist as an entity of power. Religions would have you believe that killing to spread and maintain knowledge of and adherence to their particular truth is perfectly defensible. In fact, religions require you to take their word on this in order to even exist as an entity of power. Societies would have you believe that killing to punish those that commit certain offenses, and please note that these have changed over the years and are also perfectly defensible. In fact, society must have you take its word on it in order to exist as an entity of power. Do you believe these positions are correct? Have you taken another's word for it? What does yourself have to say? I say there is no right and wrong in these matters, but by your decisions you paint a portrait of who you are. So indeed, by their decisions your states and nations have already painted such pictures, and by their decisions religions have left indelible impressions on the world. By their decisions your societies have made, they too also have produced their self-portraits. Are you impressed or pleased by these pictures? Are these the impressions you wish to make? Do these portraits represent who you are? Be careful of these questions. They may require you to think. Thinking is hard. Making value judgments is difficult to do because you are placed at pure creation. When you become honest with yourself there will be so many times you have to say, I don't know. I just don't know. Alas, you still have to decide. You will have to choose. You will have to make an arbitrary choice. Such a choice, a decision coming from no previous personal knowledge, and it's called pure creation. So, the individual is so deeply aware that the making of such decisions lies the self-created. Most of you are not interested in such important work. Most of you would rather leave that to others. So most of you are not self-created. You're creatures of habit, as many might say, or worse yet, created creatures. Then when others tell you how you should feel and it directly counters to how you actually feel, you experience a deep inner conflict. Something deep inside you tells you that what others have told you is not who you are. Now, where to go with that? The first place you go to is your religionists, the very people who put you there in the first place. You go to your psychologists, ministers, your preachers, and what have you. You go to them. They tell you to stop listening to yourself. They will try to scare you away from it, away from what you intuitively know. They will tell you about the devil, about hell, damnation, or whatever frightening concept they can feed you to get you to not freely think, and use it to show you how what you intuitively know was wrong. By the highest standards, I have observed humans devise all kinds of points to rationalize all kinds of irrational or mad behaviors and insanities. Killing is never justified as a means of expressing anger or releasing hostility, righting a wrong, or punishing an offender. So what does that mean for the statement, war is sometimes necessary to end evil? Is it true? It is. For you have made it so. You have determined in the creation of self a respect for human life is and must be a high prime value. Creation is pleased with this decision, as life was not created to be destroyed. It is the respect for life that sometimes makes war necessary. For it is through war against immediate impending evil. It is through the defense against immediate threat of an innocent life that you make a statement of who you are in relationship to that. You have the right under the highest moral law indeed, but more so an obligation under that law to stop aggression on another or yourself. This does not mean killing is a means of punishment or a means of retribution, nor an act to settle petty differences. We have fought wars to protect our honor when it was all honor we lost. Reaching to the height of hypocrisy, some are killing in the name of God, for this is the highest blasphemy, as it does not speak of who you are. So now the question is, what is wrong killing? Well, wrong is a relative term, indicating that which is contrary to what you consider right, yet what is right. So in these matters, can you be truly objective? Or is right and wrong simply labels and descriptions overlaid on events or circumstances by you out of your decision about them? Now what forms the basis of your decision? Your own experience? Probably not. In most of your life events, you have chosen to accept someone else's decision, someone that came before you and presumably knows better. Very few of your daily decisions about what is right and wrong are being made by you based on your understanding. This is especially true on important matters. The reality is, the more important the matter, the less likely you are to listen to your own experience. Because of this, you are unconsciously ready to make someone else's ideas your own. This also explains why you have given up virtually totally control over certain areas in your life or certain questions that arise within the human experience. These questions and areas often include subjects that are the most vital areas to your soul: the nature of God, the nature of true morality, the question of ultimate reality, the issues surrounding life and death, love and war, the whole sum and structures of human values, substance, and judgments. Of these, most of you have assigned and abrogated to others, as you do not want to make a decision about them. I'll go along, you shout. Someone just tell me what's right and wrong. By the way, this is why human religions are so popular. It almost doesn't matter what the belief system is, as long as it's firm, consistent, clear, and in expectation of the follower. Given those characteristics, you can find people who believe in almost anything. The strangest behavior can and has been attributed to God. It's God's way, they say. It's God's word. And there are those that are willing to accept that gladly. Why? Again, it eliminates the need to think. Are you seeing the pattern? I will light the lamp every night at midnight Pacific Standard Time, 7 days a week. All segments will be available on demand, so please subscribe to this channel right now. Stay tuned as more shorter and topical messages will be following the show's pilot this week. I will not relent until my final breath. Love will endure all things. This is Midnight Rider on behalf of all of us here at the Patriot Information Network. Thank you for watching this morning's broadcast of Lighting the Lamp. Godspeed to all, and to all, a good night.
They know why I'm here.